Okay, we are going to look a little bit more at the food labels. We're going to look a little more at the food labels. So here we go. So this is a food label from a coconut cream frappuccino from Starbucks. So serving size is 16 fluid ounces. It's got 330 calories, right? 130 of these are from fat. 130 of these calories from fat. 14 grams of fat. This provides 22% of the recommended daily amount of fat for somebody on a 2,000 calorie diet, right? See down here, percent values based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Again, if your diet is more than 2,000 calories, then this is going to be less than 22%. If your diet is less than 2,000 calories, then this is going to provide more than 22%. Right, we've got 9 grams of saturated fat. That's almost 45 grams, almost 45% of the saturated fat that you should have for the day if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet. Then we've got the same. We've got similar numbers for cholesterol, sodium, total carbohydrate, all of these things. Vitamin A, a little bit of vitamin A, no vitamin C, a little bit of calcium, no iron. That's how we look at this, right? So if we only have 8 fluid ounces of this, because this is a 16-ounce serving, we have half as many calories from fat, half as many total calories, right? It's based on a 16-ounce serving, which is a grande, right? So if you get a bigger one, it'll be more of everything, okay? Let's look at another label. Here we've got Cheerios, right? 100 calories. If we use a half a cup of skim milk, it's 140 calories. Okay, so this is a little bit unusual. It's got some extra things here. We've got just the Cheerios with half a cup of skim milk. That's frequently how people will eat Cheerios, with milk. And for children under 4, right? Special things for children under 4. Again, you're not going to see this very often, but it's good to know that this is there, right? So, all right. So if we have a quarter cup of skim milk with our Cheerios, we have 140 calories, 20 from fat, 3% of the total fat recommended for somebody on a 2,000 calorie diet, 3% of the saturated fat, 1% of the cholesterol, 10% of the sodium, 11% of the potassium, a little carbohydrate, a little bit of fiber, 11% of the fiber, and for all these vitamins, it tells you how many of these vitamins it has as well, right? Keep in mind, this is a 1 cup serving with a half a cup of skim milk, right? If you have 2 cups of cereal, I'm a big guy. I'm going to eat 2 cups of cereal, so I would have twice this, right? If I have 2 cups of cereal with a whole cup of milk, skim milk, then I have to double all of these things, right? So let's look at our next slide. Okay, so restaurants usually have info online. You can find this stuff online. If it's a chain restaurant, I forget exactly how many restaurants you have to have, but if you have a large chain restaurant, you're basically required to have this on your site. So let's go ahead and look at some restaurant websites. Okay, so we'll start with, let's go back to Starbucks, all right? So from the Starbucks website, you can just go to menu, food nutrition. This stuff is not always easy to find, right? Where is this stuff? Okay, so here it is. Food nutrition, drink nutrition. Okay, so let's go to drink nutrition. Okay, so what do we want to look at? Let's look at an espresso beverage. Let's look at a caramel macchiato, right? Okay, so caramel macchiato, grande, 16 ounces. It's got 240 calories, 60 of them from fat. We see all these other things here. Remember, all based on a 2,000 calorie diet. We can also see with somebody like Starbucks how things change. Let's say we get a big one instead of a grande, right? 300 calories, we get some extra calories from fat. Let's see how it changes when we go to whole milk, right? So we just added 40 calories here. When we used skim milk or 2% milk, this was 40 calories, and this was 80 calories from fat. We've gone up, right? We've boosted our caloric intake by 40 calories. You can kind of play around with one of these and see how it changes, right? You can also kind of use these websites to see what might be, you know, a better choice and maybe not such a good choice, right? So let's go back. Okay, so if you order a cappuccino, right? You can see that a grande cappuccino with 2% milk, right? That's only 120 calories, right? Whereas if I order a venti with whole milk and I get a cinnamon dulce latte, right? We're up to 380 calories, right? 380 calories for a big drink, for the big sweet drink made with whole milk, right? Whereas if I get the medium-sized drink, right, I get a caramel macchiato or a cappuccino made with non-fat milk or skim milk, looking at way fewer calories, right? So I can go into Starbucks and I can get a cappuccino made with non-fat milk, a medium size, a grande, right? That's only 80 calories, right? Or I can get the venti and I can have them use whole milk. And let's say I get this dulce latte, 380 calories, right? Let's say I add whipped cream, 450 calories, right? So sometimes these little choices make a big difference. So learning to understand and read this nutrition information makes a big difference, right? Let's look at another website. Let's look at Taco Bell. Okay, we'll go to Taco Bell, right? Go to the nutrition section. Okay, so full nutrition information, right? You go to the nutrition facts. Okay, so, right, here we can look at drinks. We can look at chalupas. We can look at whatever we want, right? So, right, our chicken supreme chalupa, 153 grams is the size. Usually this is just one chalupa, 340 calories, 160 of them from fat, right? 4 grams of saturated fat, 18 grams total fat, right? And we can look at all of our different items here, right? Looking at some of these things may surprise you, right? Look at some of the highest things on our list, right? You get a big drink, that's 500 calories. All on its own. You get a gordita, right? The cheesy gordita crunch, 490 calories. That's almost twice as much as the chicken or steak gordita supreme, right? So I think when you know that you're going to Taco Bell, we all know that that's not the healthiest choice. That's not rocket science, but making a little bit better choice, or maybe a not as bad a choice, if you know where to look and you know where the nutrition information is, makes a big difference, right? Again, cheesy gordita crunch, twice the calories almost versus the regular gordita. Same thing with our nachos. Look, volcano nachos, 970 calories. Nacho supreme, 430 calories. Again, almost twice as many calories here, right? Black beans, as a side, only 80 calories, right? Chips and guacamole, 320 calories. 4 times the calories in chips and guacamole versus black beans. Most of these restaurants will also have this nutrition information available somewhere at the restaurant. Okay, let's look at Black Angus. We'll look at a different restaurant, right? A little bit harder to find here. Go to Black Angus. We'll go to menu. Here at the menu, nutrition information. There you go. Right, and it's got a PDF of this thing, so we can look at it. Okay, so we can also look at the Black Angus and look at the different menu items on here. Right? Make a habit. Go and look up what the food at your favorite restaurant, and you might be surprised at what you see and things that you thought did not have a high calorie count may have a very high calorie count, and things that you thought might be high might not be as high as you thought. So just kind of make it a habit to look at these things and educate yourself about what you are eating. So that's going to be it for our tools for healthy eating. I really think that everything else is very clearly explained in your book, so check it out there.